Hi everybody, I'm Patrick Henry and this is my demonstration speech for public speaking. So imagine you're taking a hike through the Shenandoah Forest. It's a gorgeous day, the sun's out, the birds are chirping, and the squirrels are running all over the place. You're winding your way down a path going to this beautiful waterfall that you've heard about to have lunch. So you get to the waterfall, you have your lunch, and you get up to leave. All of a sudden, you turn around and look and there's a great big old bear and there are 3 cubs on the trail you just came in. So obviously you're going to go in the other direction, back into the woods to get away from the bear. You get away from the bear and all of a sudden you realize you're not quite sure where you are. You don't know which way the road is, you can't see anything for the trees. Knowing how to start a campfire can absolutely save your life for many reasons. Today we're going to discuss the many purposes of a campfire, how to start a campfire, and the materials that we actually need to start a campfire. As an avid camper and a former Boy Scout, I've probably started hundreds of fires, and each one is always a little bit different, but always fun. So we'll start by the many reasons that you may want to start a campfire. Obviously, if you're lost in the woods and it's 30 degrees out like it is now, you may want some heat. It's a little cold out, so heat would definitely be a good thing. It serves for cooking food and boiling water. It will light up an area around you and give you some kind of some sort of protection from the animals and the bugs. And it's great for signaling. If it's daylight and you have a big fire going, you throw some green leaves on it, and all of a sudden you have a big cloud of black smoke leading right to where you are if somebody's out looking for you. So we're actually going to start with the materials that we need. From tinder. Tinder is something that catches very quickly. It catches a spark. It burns out really quick usually, so you want to make sure that you have your other materials handy. Cotton balls work great for tinder. Cattails, daffodils, all of those catch a spark really quick, and will help you to get a fire going a little bit easier. Then you'll want some kindling. Kindling is basically the dried stuff. This is a little wet. It's raining outside, so we're going to see how this does. But you'll have dry leaves, dry grass works good, and then you'll want to use some sticks to keep it going. Generally, starting the fire, you want to use small sticks. They of course are going to catch a lot quicker than the big sticks will, so they'll be a lot more friendly to you starting your fire. Once you get the fire going, the fire's up at a decent size, then you start putting your bigger logs on for substantial burning. Obviously a log will last you a couple hours, whereas then these sticks will maybe last you 15-20 minutes. So from here we're going to talk about the ignition. We need obviously some kind of flame to start the fire. You can use a ferro rod or a book of matches. A bunch of people have asked me about the ferro rod, and it works great if you have a very dry flammable tinder. If you're going to try to start leaves directly or tear off a piece of your shirt to start a fire, use a match. It's a whole lot easier. So now we're actually going to go ahead and construct the campfire. So we'll start off with the kindling, the dry stuff. You can see there's dry paper in there, there's a dry cloth in there. Anything that's flammable can really be used to try to get the fire going. You generally take some kindling and spread it out on top. You don't want to smother the fire, you want to make sure it gets plenty of air. The more sticks you put on, the harder it is going to be to breathe. So generally we'll start with just a handful of sticks just to try to get it going. Then once it gets going, we'll move on to the bigger logs. We're going to use the ferro rod just because we can, I guess. So get the flame started, drop it on, and then obviously try to get some of that wet leaves to dry out and catch. So once the fire catches, like I said, you'll let the tender catch, get you a nice little flame going. Once you get your little flame going, then you'll typically want to take your bigger logs and crisscross them across the top. You can lay 5 or 6 of those on. There's still plenty of air that's going to get to it to be able to let the fire breathe. So that's basically how to start a campfire. So the next point we want to kind of address is safety as I start a fire in my garage. So when you start a campfire, you definitely want to make sure that there's a few feet around you. You don't want a leaf or a stick or something falling on another pile of leaves that are dry, and all of a sudden the entire forest are up in flames, and you're running for your life. It's a very bad situation. When you wake up the next day, or somebody comes and finds you, and you're ready to go home, it's very important to put the fire out. There's a few different ways you can do it. If you have water, obviously that's the easiest way to do it. Another pretty easy way is throwing dirt on top of the fire. If you smother the fire and no air gets to it, then it's going to go out pretty quickly, and you're going to have very little chance of ignition catching something else on fire. So today we talked about the many purposes of creating a fire, the materials that we need to make a fire, and exactly how to build a fire. I think building a fire can absolutely save your life in many ways and for many reasons. Bertrand Russell once said, "There's much pleasure to be gained from useless knowledge." I think useful knowledge is pretty pleasurable too, to be able to do something like this and be able to survive when you need to. So, thank you.